Have you ever wondered why you cry more easily than other people? Sometimes it is just an ordinary movie, a sad piece of music, or a small comment from someone. But somehow your throat tightens, your eyes start to sting, and before you can stop it, the tears begin to fall. Meanwhile, the people around you simply shrug and say something familiar. Why are you so weak? It is such a small thing to cry about. If you have heard that sentence many times, you may have started to believe that something is wrong with you. Maybe you have tried to suppress your emotions. You try to appear strong. You learn to smile when you actually want to cry. You tell yourself that next time you will not react like that. But strangely, the emotions keep coming anyway. And each time it happens, you feel as if you are the only person in the world who is this sensitive. But here's something very few people tell you. The problem may not be that you are too weak. The truth may be that you feel things more clearly. People who cry easily are often not the weakest people in the room. In fact, they are usually the ones with a more sensitive emotional system than others. They notice details that other people overlook. They sense the smallest changes in tone in someone's eyes or in the atmosphere of a conversation. And when emotions reach them, they respond honestly. They do not hide it, and they do not pretend. The irony is that society often teaches us that emotions should be hidden. But if you cry easily, it may not be a flaw. It may be a sign that you are living with an open heart, with the ability to feel more deeply than many others. And in this video, we will explore a truth that might surprise you. People who cry easily do not only have strong emotions, they also possess unique psychological strengths that very few people recognize. Stay until the end of the video, because for the first time in your life, you may realize that what you have always believed to be a weakness is actually one of the rarest strengths a human being can have. If you are someone who cries easily, you may have often felt that your emotions are a burden. You try to hide them, control them, and appear strong like everyone else. But the irony is that there is a truth very few people realize. People who cry easily are not weaker than others. In many cases, they are stronger. Not in a loud or showy way, but in a quiet and deeply powerful way. And once you understand this, you may begin to see yourself in a completely different light. The first strength of people who cry easily is their powerful ability to empathize. Have you ever noticed that you can sense other people's moods very quickly? Just by hearing someone's voice, you can tell they are tired. Just by looking into their eyes, you know something is not right. This happens because the brains of sensitive people process emotional signals more strongly. When someone is in pain, you can almost feel that pain in your own body. Sometimes this makes you feel exhausted, but it also makes you someone others feel safe around. In a world where many people listen only to respond, people like you truly listen to understand. The second strength lies in the natural release of emotions. Many people spend their entire lives suppressing their feelings. They accumulate pressure, frustration, and anger, but never allow themselves to express it. Then one day, everything explodes in ways no one expects. People who cry easily are different. When emotions rise, their bodies naturally release them. Tears are actually a biological mechanism that helps reduce stress. After crying, many people feel lighter, as if an invisible weight has been lifted. What society calls weakness may actually be a healthier way of processing emotions than most people realize. The third strength is emotional intelligence. People who cry easily often understand their own emotions more clearly than others. They recognize when they are sad, when they are exhausted, and when they need rest. This may sound simple, but it is actually rare. Many people live their entire lives without truly understanding their own emotions. They only know they feel angry or stressed, but they do not know why. Sensitive people are different. They are used to observing their inner world. And this helps them develop a crucial life skill, the ability to understand people. The fourth strength is the ability to create deep connections. You may notice that people who cry easily often have very genuine relationships. The reason is simple. They are not good at pretending. They are not good at wearing emotional masks. When they are happy, they are truly happy. When they are sad, they do not completely hide it. This makes others feel that they are standing in front of a real person, not a carefully edited version. And people are naturally drawn to authenticity. That is why, even though they are sometimes misunderstood as weak, sensitive people are often the ones who build the deepest relationships. The fifth strength is creativity. Deep emotions often come with a powerful imagination. Many artists, writers, musicians, and creators are extremely sensitive to emotions. They experience the world more intensely. A melody can move them deeply. A sunset can make them reflect for hours. A small story can grow into a powerful idea. When you have the ability to feel deeply, you also have the ability to transform those emotions into something meaningful. That is why sensitive people often create work that touches the hearts of others. But the final strength may be the one people see the least. It is the courage to feel. Most people spend a great deal of energy trying to avoid their emotions. They work too much, scroll endlessly on their phones, or stay busy with anything just to avoid facing their real feelings. People who cry easily cannot escape their emotions so easily. They feel them, they move through them, and sometimes they cry. But that is exactly what allows them to understand themselves more deeply. There is an interesting paradox. The people society calls sensitive are often the ones who are most capable of enduring powerful emotions because they do not run away from them. They move through them. So, if you are someone who cries easily, you may have heard people say that you are too weak. But think about it again. Maybe you are not weak. Maybe you simply live with a more open heart than most people. And an open heart always carries more emotions. But that same heart is also what allows you to understand people, love deeply, and truly connect with the world. If you recognize yourself in these words, try doing something simple right now. Do not rush to close this video. Leave a comment with just one sentence. I am someone who cries easily. Because sometimes the strongest thing a person can do is acknowledge who they truly are. And in the next part, we will talk about an important truth that many sensitive people have never heard. Crying is not a sign of weakness. In many cases, it is a sign of an inner strength greater than you realize. There is a truth that very few people talk about. This world often teaches us that strong people are the ones who do not cry. Strong people are supposed to keep a cold face, hide their emotions, and move forward as if nothing happened. But think about it for a moment. If not feeling anything is considered strength, then why are so many successful, deep, and influential people actually individuals with very strong emotions? The truth is that crying is not a sign of weakness. Crying is a sign that you can still feel this world. You can still be moved by a story, a person, or a small moment. And in an era where many people are slowly becoming emotionally numb, the ability to feel deeply becomes a rare kind of strength. People who cry easily are not the weakest ones in the room. Very often they are the bravest, because they do not run away from their emotions. They go through them, they allow themselves to feel sadness, joy, vulnerability, and even pain. And that is exactly what helps them understand life, understand people, and understand themselves far more deeply than many others. So if you are someone who cries easily, remember this. You may not be as weak as you think. You may simply be living with an open heart. And an open heart will always carry more emotions, but it is also what creates compassion, creativity, and the most genuine connections in life. If you have watched this far and feel like these words describe you, do something simple. Subscribe to the channel now and leave a comment saying, I am not weak. I simply feel deeply. Because in the next video, we will talk about an even more fascinating truth. Why sensitive people often see things that most people never notice.